If you're over 60 and you think a light salad or soup and bread at lunch is the healthy choice, please listen carefully. That light lunch might be the reason your knees ache when you stand up, why stairs feel harder, why you grab the railing now. German nutrition experts call it invisible starvation. Your muscles are being quietly eaten away because that midday meal has almost no protein. In 2023, Germany's top nutrition society had to raise the protein guideline specifically for seniors because so many were losing their legs to lunch. But in Japan, a simple midday plate, rice, miso soup with tofu, a palm-sized piece of fish, gives seniors 25 to 30 grams of muscle-building protein. And their legs stay strong into their 80s. The numbers German health officials don't advertise. In Germany alone, 33.8% of adults aged 65 and older are already living with sarcopenia or pre-sarcopenia, muscle wasting that quietly steals balance, speed, and independence. Why? Because the traditional bread-heavy lunch, the buttered roll with a slice of cheese or cold cut, simply doesn't deliver enough high-quality protein to keep aging muscle alive. National survey data shows roughly 50% of older women and 30% of older men fall short of the basic protein target every single day. The situation became so alarming that in 2023, the German Nutrition Society formally raised its protein guideline for adults over 65 to 1.0 grams per kilogram of body weight daily, higher than the recommendation for younger adults. This was not a casual update. This was a public health alarm. So, what exactly are Japanese elders putting on their plates that German, Swiss, and Austrian seniors are not? Picture a small lacquered tray. On it, a bowl of steamed rice, a bowl of miso soup floating with cubes of tofu and strips of wakame seaweed, a palm-sized grilled mackerel, a small dish of simmered vegetables, and perhaps a spoonful of natto, the fermented soybeans Japanese grandmothers swear by. That single tray delivers between 25 and 30 grams of high-quality protein. Across a full day, Japanese older adults consume roughly 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, dramatically more than the 0.9 grams per kilogram averaged in Western countries. This is the setup payoff for those daily 6,000 to 7,000 steps. Walking alone cannot build muscle if the raw materials aren't on the plate. In large Japanese cohort studies, this dietary pattern, fish, fermented soy, vegetables, seaweed, rice, is associated with a 39% lower risk of frailty and 30 to 40% lower cardiovascular mortality compared with Western meat-heavy patterns. And here is the part that contradicts everything diet culture has shouted for decades. These meals are often lower in total calories than the average American lunch, yet vastly higher in nutrient density. Less food, stronger legs. This is not a miracle of Japanese genetics. This is the predictable result of distributing high-quality amino acids, leucine, omega-3 fatty acids, and fermented compounds across one carefully composed midday plate. The mackerel alone provides roughly 18 grams of protein and delivers anti-inflammatory omega-3s that protect muscle tissue from age-related breakdown, while the fermented miso and natto supply probiotics linked to improved nutrient absorption in aging digestive systems. If you're over 60 and nobody's ever told you this about your lunch plate, subscribe, because the next revelation about what you're eating will reshape how you move for the rest of your life. Watch what happens when DAC seniors finally get the protein their muscles are screaming for. In a Swiss cohort of community-dwelling adults aged 70 to 85, 27% consumed less than 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram daily, and that low intake correlated directly with slower walking speed and weaker grip strength. The hospital data is even harsher. A Swiss analysis of patients over 70 found that 45% arrived already malnourished or at high risk, and those patients faced 2 to 3 times higher rates of mobility limitation and need for care after discharge. But the same research that exposes the crisis also reveals the cure. In an Austrian nursing home study, residents who received a midday meal, enriched with just 20 additional grams of protein, improved their chair rise performance by roughly 20% in only 12 weeks, no extra exercise required. Then came the German multicenter trial. Frail seniors with an average age of 78 combined resistance training with a high-protein, leucine-rich lunch. The result, leg strength improved by 33%, beyond what training alone produced, and walking speed climbed significantly. Quick interruption: if this video is already reshaping how you think about lunch, take 3 seconds to subscribe. Less than 2% of viewers do, yet this channel is fighting to reach 100,000 seniors before winter. Your tap keeps the research flowing. Now back to the most surprising finding of all: the Swiss timing secret. Swiss researchers ran an analysis most nutritionists never see published. They tracked older adults who all consumed identical total daily protein. The only difference? When they ate it. The seniors who concentrated the largest portion, roughly 25 to 30 grams, at lunch had measurably better walking speed and stronger legs than those who spread the same protein thinly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same grams, different timing, different bodies. Why does this happen? Aging muscle becomes resistant to small protein doses. It needs a single, decisive trigger, about 25 to 30 grams in one sitting, rich in leucine, to fully activate muscle protein synthesis. A slice of toast with jam at breakfast, a piece of cake at coffee, and a bit of sausage at dinner simply does not cross that threshold. The midday plate must. This is why a senior in Phoenix can copy the principle without copying the cuisine. A bowl of lentil stew with a poached egg. A fillet of trout with cottage cheese and steamed vegetables instead of potatoes alone. A high-protein Greek yogurt with berries alongside soup. Fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, or lean meat, paired with vegetables and a modest starch, reaches the same 25 to 30 gram mark that triggers the muscle response. Muscle protein synthesis responds to leucine the way a lock responds to a key: cross the threshold or stay locked out. Skip the threshold at lunch and the legs quietly weaken. Cross it and they hold. The Swiss study found that participants who hit this threshold maintained muscle mass over 2 years, while the low-dose group lost an average of 4% lean tissue. And this is where the picture finally turns. One repeatable lunch plate, built around 25 to 30 grams of quality protein, vegetables, and a modest starch, functions as daily medicine for aging legs. It works whether the plate looks Japanese, with rice, miso, and grilled fish, or familiar to the Dach kitchen, with lentils, quark, trout, or a lean schnitzel beside greens. The compound effect is staggering. Better protein timing at lunch reduces sarcopenia risk, improves walking speed, lowers fall risk, and preserves the independence that determines whether someone climbs stairs at 75 or waits for help at the bottom. This is preventive medicine without a prescription, without a gym membership, without a single pill. The cost? Often under $2 per plate. One choice at noon, repeated, becomes the difference between a walker in the hallway and a hiking trail in the Alps. The decision made today at lunch shapes the body that carries you through next winter and the decade beyond. The Japanese lunch advantage is not genetic. It is not exotic. It is a pattern, and patterns can be copied. Start with one lunch this week that crosses the 25-gram protein threshold: fish, eggs, lentils, quark, or lean meat with vegetables. Within days, energy steadies. Within weeks, stairs feel different. Your legs at 70 are being built by what lands on your plate at noon today. Share this with one person over 60 who still believes a roll and coffee is a lunch. The next video exposes the 3 breakfast mistakes that quietly undo everything you just learned. Continue with the Healthy Aging Mastery playlist, your complete guide to staying strong, steady, and independent. This is educational information, not medical advice.